All right, Tom, this week, Victor Wembanyama was absolutely unbelievable. He had 24 points, 16 rebounds with 7 blocks versus the Jazz, 34 points, 14 rebounds, 6 assists with 3 blocks against the Kings. And then he had his first 50 bomb. 50 points on 18 of 29 from the field, on 8 of 16 from three-point range against the Wizards. He's hit 23 pointers in his last 3 games. Have you changed your mind about Victor's three-point usage? It's like he listens to our podcast.
That's right. You're welcome, Spurs fans. We were hammering this guy last time about his, settling for 3-pointers, not attacking the paint. And he almost went the other direction, which was, I'm going to live at the 3-point line here and bomb away from logo threes. Like after our conversation, he goes out and just goes logo 3, logo 3, logo 3. He has more 30-foot shots than everybody in the league except for LaMelo, Trae Young, and Peyton Pritchard. Those guys are point guards, right? Those guys are like leading their offense, and Victor Wembanyama, all 7'5", is spacing the floor like we've never seen a big man do it. Like maybe Kristaps, maybe Brook Lopez have done these logo threes before where you're like, yo, that's nuts. He's doing it, and he's doing it in a way in the flow of the offense the last 3 games where you're just like, he's bending everything we know about basketball. Like Steph Curry, we talked about it on the Big Number this week with Dan Devine about how he's, in my opinion, the best offensive player since Michael Jordan, Steph Curry, for how he warped everything offensively and what we know, what is a good shot, and his on-ball, off-ball power and his gravity. If Victor Wembanyama pulls up from 35 feet and he's going to hit him at a high rate, we just got to pack it up, right, Kev?
Yeah, I mean, look, yes, we do if he becomes a knockdown guy, a 7'4" version of Kevin Durant. You said something that, has stuck out to me with him through this stretch, because one of the reasons why I think we were critical of it is because we wanted to see Victor ISO more, post up, face up, and have some more, development in the areas of his game where he needed to improve from last season. And like, that's my only desire with Victor. It's like working on the things that he needs to work on. Like, I know people talk about he needs to be at the rim more. It's like, I don't need to see Victor catching lobs and cutting to the basket. We know he's elite at that already. But one of the things that he needed to get better at from last season is catch and shoot threes. Last season, he was way better off the dribble. He was 30% on 2.4 pull-up three-pointers per game. He was only 29% on 3.2 catch-and-shoot threes per game. His mechanics worked better off the dribble, not off the catch. Now, this season, during this 3-game hot stretch, what we saw him do was to use the three-pointer off the catch. He had only 8 attempts off the dribble, made only 2 of them, but he was 18 for 29 on catch-and-shoot threes, and he was getting them all over the floor, pick and pops with Chris Paul, relocations, those spot ups from the logo. Sometimes it's a trail 3 in transition that you're talking about. He had one out of a dribble handoff with Stephon Castle. He had an off-ball screen set for him by Chris Paul, and he hits a 3 off of that. It's like these creative actions getting Victor the ball off the catch. And this is different from last season when he was off the dribble, where he was not a guy taking a lot of spot ups. And that's where I'm looking at this year, and I'm like, okay, maybe that increased free throw percentage nearing 90% right now, maybe that's now translating to off the catch from 3-point range. Maybe now it's finally starting to click, because one of the things a source told me during the summer, during the Olympics, someone said to me, Victor's shooting the hell out of the ball, like in practices. Like something's changed with his mechanics, because he wasn't shooting well for the French national team during the Olympics. He had a real cold stretch there, just like he had it at the beginning of the season with the Spurs. But then now maybe we're actually seeing the results of all that work he put in from the free throw line, the improvement, and as a catch and shoot 3-point guy. And if that improves on top of everything else that we already know that he can do, like these 50-point games are going to become more and more common.
Welcome to the NBA, Alex Sarr, right? Like, oh my God. Like, he put Alex Sarr in such pain in that game. They put Jonas back on him, Valanciunas, and it was not fair watching Jonas try to keep up with Victor Wembanyama 30 feet out from the basket. This is the thing that we keep talking about, right, Kev, is the game, the geometry of the game is so different now that Jonas Valanciunas trying to guard a 7'5" sharpshooter, if he has that jump shot, like you said, the catch and shoot and pump fakes, and Valanciunas has to go and close out, Wemby's at the rim. You know, like that's the second level of developing that catch and shoot 3 game, is if you can pump fake because they're so terrified of you hitting that 30-footer, then it opens up this dribble drive game and he's slashing at the rim, where in that same stretch, Kev, those 3 games where he went absolutely nova over, you know, at the 3-point arc, he made 20 of 37 from 3. The shooting percentage is about 1.6 points per shot. And we did this the last episode, but I want to reinforce this. 1.6 points per 3-point shot on average for Victor Wembanyama. But he was also in that 3-game stretch, 13 of 14 at the rim. So, like, I think it feeds into each other, right? If you're able to space that, like, chess, not checkers aspect of this is you pump fake now, and then you're blowing by, and then you're going to have a dunk at the rim. If we can get Wemby playing off his 3-point threat and using that to draw multiple bodies, or driving and kicking, or finishing at the rim, it's going to be so hard, so much harder to guard that guy. And like, you can't stop him when he gets into the paint. So I think it does play off each other. But at the end of the day, dude's still shooting 34% from 3. So even with this incredible 3-point shooting display over the last 3 games, I still need to see it long term. I still think it's, you know, it's wrong to assume that he should be more Kevin Durant than Giannis, or trying to get into the paint more. Even with this inferno, he's still a below average 3-point shooter this season.
He is right now. I mean, we'll see how it sustains. Obviously, like these numbers are completely unsustainable. But if he can level out as a 40% guy, I mean, good luck. Good luck to any team. There will be no solution for him